I made one little mistake. And just like that, all of it. And so you learn. I went from 25-year-old kid making thousands of dollars and having tons of money in the bank, and then all of a sudden, one day was gone. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes, but learn from the mistakes and then neutralize it for the next time. And then before you know it, you done built a hell of a system. And I opened my own company, so I started having some major success. And here I am, 25 years old, and I'm like sitting on a couple $100,000 in the bank. I'm traveling, I'm doing what I want. I got my girlfriend, we're going out and seeing the sights. I'm not worried about money, I got money pouring in, I got people working for me, I'm leading them. Just, yeah, you're like, hey, this is how it's gonna go. Just like that, over. I made one little mistake, and just like that, all of it. And so you learn, right? You're like, I can't do that. I've got to, my finger has to be on the pulse of everything I do every single day, right? And it's like you pick yourself up. And that's one of the tough things I think for a lot of people. They don't pick themselves up. They get down on themselves. It's like, hey, you created something. So you did something right. You can do it again. And this is all part of the journey. Because if everything was just perfect, that's awesome. And it is for some people. But the reality is most people are going to go up and down, up and down, and you learn from it. And through all those life lessons, you're like, what can I do to minimize the down? And so you learn and you keep making mistakes, and everybody makes them, especially in business. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes, but learn from the mistakes and then neutralize it for the next time. And then before you know it, you done built a hell of a system because you done been through the fires. You know how to fix everything. You know what mistakes you didn't make, and then boom, you're there, right? But yeah, I went from 25-year-old kid making thousands of dollars and having tons of money in the bank, and then all of a sudden one day was gone. And I mean literally gone within a couple months. So because I had people I still needed to pay that were on my payroll, so I could have been and said, oh, sorry, I lost my deals and I got to take my money and run. No, I paid my people, but didn't leave anything really left over. But I was a 25-year-old hotshot kid that thought he knew a lot of Nope. Life humbled. And so you open the next business and you start from the ground up again, and you build and build and build. But guess what? I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. every morning, even on the weekends. And I'm going to get my done. And I'm going to work and I'm going to work and I'm going to work and I'm going to keep it up. And then I'm always going to be on top of it, so I don't make that same mistake like I did last time. That's how you learn. And one of the toughest things that you can tell people and that you can try to pour into somebody that's younger, but it's unfortunately, it's just like a parent, right? They can tell you till they're blue in the face. But until you go through it, people don't learn. That's only my education moment to younger people. It's like, if you're having success, get the people around you that are smarter than you to teach you. Never be the smartest person in the room, ever.
That's literally, I was writing about this a couple of days ago. I had this whole come to Jesus moment of like, I'm just not getting around enough people that are like, yeah, the reality is whatever environment you're in, you're either going to rise or fall to the level of that environment. Like, you really have no choice. And it's like, it's just human nature to find equilibrium with the collective, you know?
Well, think about it, right? You can relate it to sport, because when you have a really good team and then they're playing a team, and all of a sudden it's like, why are they playing down to the competition? And that happens because it's just nature. They know they don't have to go as hard if they're playing somebody that was an elite team as well, right? So nature takes over and just like, oh, we're gonna do just enough to win. Same thing. If you're not putting yourself in a room that try to elevate yourself, then you're just doing the bare minimum to get through that room. One of the things that I first learned and I was very lucky that I was around people at an early age between 25 and 35, that these people were super successful and had a ton of money. And I'm not talking about, oh, they were millionaires a couple of times over. We're talking about people 30, 40, $50 million. Like, we're talking early 2000s, to 2010. And I saw the way those people carried themselves, and I saw the way how they acted towards life. And they weren't hot shots. Most of those people, you would never know they had that kind of money. And the number one thing is they never talked about it. And I remember an old guy told me, don't ever talk about money, because what you're doing is you're opening the door for other people to come bother you. Because if nobody knows you have it, nobody knows to come bug you. He goes, but you get to do everything you want with that money. You can give it away to whoever you want, and you don't ever have to worry. But as soon as people find out you have it, everybody's perspective of you changes. Being around those people and seeing everything that they had, and they'd have their nice house. Like an athlete will have these huge houses. They live with one other person. There's no point in that. Literally a 0 point. Because yeah, the house is that much, but what about the taxes and the upkeep and the electricity? All of that is money that's just going away. So when you see these guys that are super wealthy, they don't have that kind of stuff. You know, you see that with the Jeff Bezos and those kinds of people. The people that have 30, 40, 50 million bucks, they're probably living in a nice house, but nothing that's going to be to that level. And that's what I saw a lot, especially traveling the Northeast and the Southeast. These people were really cool. They would take people out and we'd have $10,000 dinners, but that was a business expense and that was going to write-offs. But they weren't doing that just for fun to show off. They were doing it because it was actual business. That was one of the first things I learned growing up, and seeing that, I was like, that's a good way to be. And when you do that, that kind of brings it back down. So now you're not trying to be the hot shot in the room, rather be in the background and say, yeah, I know how that works. Anyway, my name is Mike Mendiola with Responsive Mortgage. And if this content was something that you'd like to see more of, hit that subscribe button at the bottom, and I'll see you soon.